Hi, welcome to today's episode of A Couple of Things. On the podcast today, I'm going to be, first of all, you guys, we have done 90 episodes. 90, that means for 90 days, every day this year, I have published a podcast episode. And so I'll be looking back on the journey so far. We still have a long way to go, but let's rejoice about where we are first. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, 90 days. Wow. When I first started this thing, I didn't really have any plan or goal for it. I was just like, what can I challenge myself to do this year? That is something that I have to do every day and will take me out of my comfort zone. And I decided that, you know what? I want to record a daily podcast. Why did I decide to do this? I still don't know the answer. But so far, it has been very interesting in the ways that I have found ideas from around. I've fallen on reading things that I've written about in the past. I've gotten suggestions from people, and I've had a couple of guest episodes. And initially, when I first had a guest episode, I thought that I was copying out or I was cheating, quote unquote, on the exercise. And I wonder why I thought that, because it doesn't make any sense. The point was to publish a podcast episode every day for the year, and I did that. Why did it matter if it was me speaking or someone else speaking or if I was interviewing someone? I was doing the thing that I said I would do. And why was it so hard for me to accept that? I remember talking to somebody about the podcast and I was like, oh, I've been publishing every day, but a couple of days ago I cheated because I had my husband record the podcast. And they're like, what are you talking about? You've published a podcast episode every day for the, at that time, I think it was like day 60 or something. Like, that is a big deal. And I was like, oh yeah, that is actually true. It doesn't matter if it was me who spoke or someone else who spoke. I conceptualized the thing and it's out there in the world. I have to admit though that it has been getting harder as the days have been going by, and it makes me think about I still have a lot of days to go, and I already feel like I'm running out of juice and ideas, and I don't know what the next 90 days or the next 180 days or even the next 240 or 70, if my math is right, I don't know, days will hold. So I'm a bit stressed about that, but instead of focusing on the yet to be seen and realized future, I'm going to appreciate where I am now with having, again, I published 90 episodes. I still can't believe it because this all started on a whim. I didn't have a content calendar ready of everything I was going to talk about for the next 365 days. When I published the first episode, I only had ideas for like 3 days. And somehow every day an idea comes up. And for that, I'm very, very grateful to be able to find the most random things to talk about. And something else I've also been thinking about is quantity versus quality. But I will save that for a future episode because it's a whole topic on its own. But the general idea is in the midst of all the podcast episodes, by the end of the year, if I stick to my plan, I would have published 365 podcast episodes. Not every one of those episodes will be great. And I have struggled, but have finally gotten to the point of acceptance about it. Everything will not be awesome or amazing, but I will still put my best effort into everything that I publish, knowing that maybe only 10% of it will be amazing. And that's fine. The important thing is that I am creating still, whether it's Nobel Prize worthy. I'm joking about the Nobel Prize thing. Don't fight me. But whether it's like prize worthy or it's something only my mom or my husband will listen to, I still created something. And that is very special to me. Because if you had told me that if you told me this time last year that this time this year, I would have published 90 episodes of a podcast, I would not have believed you. I don't think of myself as a creative person in this way. When it comes to writing, I think of myself as somewhat creative. But when it comes to speaking like this and even the whole process involved in recording, editing, and publishing a podcast, it's not something that I thought that I could do because even the first iteration of this podcast was just also me talking about things that were specific to UX or career. And then now I'm just here talking about all kinds of things, which is scary sometimes because I'm like, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? I don't know. But anyway, that is where I'll leave you today. I'm still basking and enjoying the fact that I have published 90 episodes this year. Thank you for listening and see you tomorrow. Bye. Here's your regular reminder that I am accepting questions for the podcast. So please submit a question through the link in the description or the show notes, and I will answer in a future episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things with Lade Tawag. If you enjoyed any part of this episode or found any part of it useful or insightful, please leave a comment if you can on your podcast listening app. Like, subscribe, all the nice things, and of course share with someone, anyone at all. Thank you. Bye.